Hello, boys and girls. Now you're going to be doing your reading lesson. So this is going to be like our math lesson and our Bible lesson, where you watch the video. We do a little lesson here. I write some stuff here. We talk about a few things. Then you're actually going to use your book and read something on your own. And you're also going to do a worksheet to help review what we just talked about. Okay, so let's get started on the lesson part. First thing I want to talk to you about is something called alliteration. Can you say alliteration? That's a big word. That's a confusing word. But basically, it just means that the same sound is repeated in several words, often at the beginning of a word. So listen as I say a sentence. Len likes limes. I hear the same sound, the oo, at the beginning of each of those words. Len likes limes. I can change the name Len to another name that begins with L to make a new word. How about Lisa likes limes? It still has the alliteration where it's all the same sound. They all begin with the same sound. It was just a different name. All right, now I'm going to say some sentences and I want you to say the sound that you hear at the beginning of most of the words in the sentence. Sometimes it isn't every single word. It's just the one that's the most. All right. So then you're gonna change the name that's in the sentence to another name that begins with that sound. All right. So how about Dale dives deep? What could you change Dale to? Dale dives deep. Well, you could change Dale to Dave, Daniel, Danielle, different names like that begin with the d sound. All right, another one. Bob built a barn. Bob built a barn. What's the sound you hear at the beginning of those words? B, b, b. Good. So what name can you change Bob to? Well, you could change Bob to Bonnie or Barb or Bobby, something like that. Yeah, you can change it, but it has to begin with the B sound to keep the alliteration. And one more. How about Hannah hiked up a hill? What's the sound you hear at the beginning of most of those words? Hannah hiked up a hill. You hear the sound, right? The letter H. But now you can change the name Hannah to a different name. What could you change it to? Change it to Henrik or Henry, Hal, and any other H name that you can think of. You can change the, but it just has to have the at the beginning of it for it to still have the alliteration. Okay? All right, so that's enough with alliteration for now. Today we're going to talk about long I and Magic E. So remember Magic E, we talked a lot about him before we went to Christmas break. So we're going to be talking about the long I and the Magic E. Now remember, we learned about A and Magic E, how Magic E makes A say its name. Well, guess what? It does the same thing with the letter I. So if I have a word like this word, F-I-V-E. What does that word say? Well, remember, when there's a vowel, one consonant, and an E, that E is Magic E. So let's put some stars to help us remember Magic E. All right, so we have E. And then, so what does Magic E do? Well, Magic E is silent, but Magic E also makes the I say its name. So I isn't saying it, like we've practiced before. I is now saying its name. It's saying I. Okay, so let's circle that I to remind us of that. So this would be, let's tap it out and see what this word would be. Starting with F, which says, so it's I, v. Five. Five. The word is five. Remember, the E is silent, so we don't say that sound. Good. What about this word right here? R-I-D. Let's tap out that word. There are 3 sounds in this word. 1, 2, 3. Can we tap out that word starting with the R sound? Ready? I-D. Rid. Rid. There's no magic E at the end, so I is just going to say I, like it normally does. But what if I add an E to the end of it? If I add an E to the end, there's a vowel, a consonant, and E, so that makes that E magic E. Very good. So then we're going to put some stars around it so we remember it's magic E. And, oh, now the I is going to say its name. Okay, so now the E is silent, but it's making the I say its name. So let's tap this out. Again, this only has 3 sounds because the E is silent, but don't get confused with that I. Remember, I says its name. Here we go. Ready? So it's I-D. Ride. Ride. Very good. Ride. Excellent. So that is the long I. So we're going to be looking at some words that have the long I with the magic E. Okay, so let's try a few more. I'm going to erase the board so we have more room. I'm going to write a few down that we can take a look at. All right, good, good, good. Okay, so let's start off. P-I-N-E. Okay, so this has magic E, right? Because there's a vowel, a consonant, and then the E. So this is magic E. Let's put some stars to remind ourselves. And then the I, so if it's magic E, the I says its name. Let's tap it out. Ready? I-N. Pine. Pine. Good. Remember, you can always stretch out a word too. If you're having a little bit trouble putting the sounds together, you can tap it, then also stretch it out and then pound it together. Pine. Very good. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, let's try another one. This one has an S blend at the beginning, so we don't want to forget that either. Okay, so again, magic E. There's the vowel, the consonant, and E, so E is magic here. Good. So I is going to say its name. Good. Let's tap this out. So remember S, we say the S sound, the M sound, the I sound, and the L sound, and E silent. Here we go. Ready? S, I, O. Smile. Smile. Very good. Excellent. All right, we'll do one more. How about we'll do an R blend? It's always good to go over our blends. So we went over them a while ago, but it's always a good idea to refresh our minds on that. Okay, so again, we have magic E, of course. So we'll put some stars to remind us that it's magic E. Now, let's tap it out again. Remember, when we have an R blend, you tap out both sounds. And then don't forget, our I is going to say its name. And then the Z sound, okay? So here we go. Ready? P-R-I-Z. Prize. 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 Very good. Excellent. Okay, so boys and girls, that is something that we're going to keep going over this week. But this is just to help you get started on it. Now, I also want to look at our sight words for this week. Dun, 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 dun. Here they are. This couple got a little bit erased because I was holding the board. That's okay. I'll fix those quickly. All right. Here we go. Okay. So these are our sight words for the week. So these are words that I want you to be able to just know as soon as you see them. So let's go over them together. The first word is green, like the color green. Then we have grow, like plants grow. Pretty, like you are also pretty. Gentlemen, you are so handsome. All right, the next word is should. The next word is together, like we want to be together soon. And then the word is water. We know what water is. All right, so those are our sight words for the week. So these are words that we're going to be looking at. They're going to show up in our stories, and we're going to be looking at these, and we want to know what they say. So to review them, we're actually going to chop them. So with me, please chop. I want you to do your best chopping pose. So if you're sitting down, that means you sit up straight, or you can be, or if you're standing up, 2 feet on the ground, facing forward. You remember, you take your writing hand and you have that ready to chop, and then you take your other hand and it goes straight forward. Okay, so let's start with green. Ready? So it would go like this. G-R-E-E-N, green. Good. Next up, grow. G-R-O-W, grow. Next up, pretty. P-R-E-T-T-Y, pretty. Next up is should. S-H-O-U-L-D, should. Next up is together. T-O-G-E-T-H-E-R, together. That's a long one. And next up, water. W-A-T-E-R, water. Good. Okay, so I want you to chop them one more time on your own. After we're done with the video, chop them one more time. Then you're actually going to look in your book, your Wonders book, your reading and writing workshop. That's the smaller one. You're going to go to page 30 and 31, and you're going to read the words. You can even use this when you're chopping them. You can open up to this page and chop and go through each one. Then I want you to try and read the sentences that go along with them. You should be able to read most of the words in the sentences. There are a couple tricky ones, but you're going to go to this page and read some of those. Then on the next page, there are some long I words. It is optional to read these pages, okay? So it's your choice. You can read them to practice the long I, or you don't have to, because you're going to be doing a worksheet about long I as well, okay? So you can do these, but you don't have to. But you do have to do a worksheet about long I. So for this worksheet, it says the word rid has a short I sound. Add E to the end to make ride. Okay, we did that on the board. And that makes the long I sound you hear in ride. So it says read the words in the box. So you're going to tap out these words. They all have magic E, and the I makes the long, says its name, makes the long I sound. And you're going to have to match it to the picture. Okay, so you'll look at the pictures and you'll write the correct word next to each picture. Then it says write your own sentence using a word from the box. So using one of these words up here, you're going to write a sentence using one of those 4 words. Okay, so you just have to write one sentence. This is, yeah, you guys can definitely do this on your own. You've totally got this. You know how to write a sentence, and you know how to, you've just learned how to read these words. Okay. So, boys and girls, that is your reading lesson for today, and that's what you're going to be focusing on for reading. Tomorrow, we'll read a story, and we'll do all the usual things that we do in the classroom. All right, so boys and girls, keep up the good work. You're doing a great job.